Plan of attack for assessment 1 for interior CAD. This is the Windsor site. It's a Freedom site, and the design brief for this one, or the client brief, is that there wants to be a refurbishment done within the confines of the existing perimeter here. Taking that into consideration, you can see that there's some small triangular sections. If they need to go, that's fine. So what we need to do to start this project off is we actually need to start making some educated decisions, because the information that we've been given is limited. So what we've got to work with is some Google Maps. There's a little bit of information available from the council online. There's a number of photos. So between all of that information, we now need to put that together so that we can start to get a building that looks pretty close to what is there. Now, it doesn't actually matter if it's not perfect, because at this stage the client just wants to get an idea of what could be done within this area, and then if it goes to the next stage, then measure ups and site surveys and all of that information will take place. So let's start, and here's how I would go about doing it. So first up in REVIT, we drew the perimeter from the sketch that was handed out in class. Now that sketch was taken from Google, and Google always come with a bar scale, so I was able to take that image, which was exported from Google or just screen captured, scale that up in a site or a ground floor plan, and simply make, again, some educated decisions and draw over the top of that. So you can see the Freedom part isn't in here, but this is the area that we're working within. So far what we've got is some walls and a roof and some footpaths. So we know the perimeter. The next stage is to work out what the height of this parapet is, and from there we'll start to locate the columns, the position, and create the awnings that are currently there but will be removed, and also create and position the shop front doors and windows. So I'm going to start with the footpath, and the reason I'm starting with the footpath is because we've got a little bit of information already that's quite easy to pick up. All right. Now, when the person that went out to take the photographs here, there wasn't a measuring tape, nor were they really meant to be letting the tenants, according to the client brief, let the tenants know what was going on. So there were some photographs taken. Can you see that there's a foot in this photograph? And the reason there's a foot in it is to help us scale what we're looking at. So knowing that tiles are generally to standard, I can see that as a shoe, this is a size 9 shoe, a size 9 shoe is roughly 250 millimeters long, which means that I have a pretty fair idea that these tiles are 300 by 300. So that's going to be extremely useful as I start to work out some scales of what we're doing. Now, if we just go back one, you can see that there's a close-up taken here of this column. There's columns all along the front. They're structural columns, therefore they shouldn't really be touched unless there's a really good reason. Looking at this, we know that that's 300. So therefore, if that is roughly 300, and then if I take that information and sort of just by eye work it out, I would guess that that column is 400 millimeters in diameter. So I'm going to create a round column.